everyone. I'm Nicole Boone, and welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Deon Campbell of Mullins, South Carolina, music producer and owner of dubproductions, as he plays some tunes for us. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about him. Keep going, keep going. So, Deon, as you know, is with the Man-to-Man Fatherhood Initiative in South Carolina. We talked a while back, but today's conversation is about your love for music, how it started at an early age, how you've played and performed in New York and internationally and across the pond and at the Vatican, met some famous people, and you brought it all the way back home to Mullins, South Carolina to open your studio. So thanks for joining me again, friend.
Hey, Nicole, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm so glad to have you.
I told you if you invited me, I will come back.
Well, I'm going to keep inviting you. You just come up with new things to talk about. And you'll always have a platform here, Dion.
I'll always come back and chill with you on your platform.
That's awesome. Well, you are playing on the keyboard a little bit, and it's exciting today that we get to talk about your love for music. Cool. So it started at an early age. Tell me your story.
Yeah, a real early age, growing up. In my household, I had opportunity to grow up on both sides of the family with music. My father, a Baptist pastor, and my mom and her sisters, coming up, they had their quartet singing group with gospel. So on Sundays, it was music all day for me. And during the week, I would go to grandma's house and go to my mom. Back then, they had a group named the Verna Sisters, and they would sing for years as I was growing up. And my uncles and all of them played, and they played guitars, piano, keyboards, drums. And so I just grew up doing it. And all my life, I just did music. So that's how I started and came about doing some music.
I love it. So you played the trombone in high school, then you went off and decided that you would go to New York to pursue your love for music and acting there. So tell me about that.
Yeah, what happened in New York, years ago, I was blessed with an opportunity to tour and play on a Broadway. Well, it was a musical to Europe and Switzerland, and I ended up playing for Sandra Reese Phillips. You might be familiar with her in the hit movie Lean on Me back in the day with Morgan Freeman and
yes.
With cool and stuff. So anyway, I had the opportunity to travel with her and go to Europe and play as her bass player on that back then. And so we toured Europe and Switzerland and Bern, a couple cities over there. And when we came back to the States, then I went to New York with her to do some more musical things in Manhattan. Then later on went out and enrolled into acting school. So I went to HB, which is Herbert Berghoff Studios, downtown Manhattan near Brooklyn. So I studied there, and I studied at New York Broadway Dance Center in Midtown with tap dance and all that good stuff like that. to play and work in other studios in New York. And then we went back to Italy, stayed there for about a couple months, did about 18 cities, had a chance to play at the Vatican for the Pope. Actually, it was for the Midnight Mass is what it was. And, so that was a great experience in Rome that we did. So that was pretty.
You're so lucky, so fortunate and blessed to have really experienced some wonderful things in your life. And then you bring all of that back to your hometown to start producing music. And you have a studio now, and it's called dubproductions. Tell them why it's called that.
My name is Dion, 4 letters, D-E-O-N. Well, in Italy, I don't know if they couldn't say Dion or what, but throughout the whole camp, and we were sound checking on different shows, the guys would call me Doobie. And Sandra, she just started saying Doobie, hey Doobie, blah, 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 Doobie, Doobie. So for the whole tour, they called me Doobie. So when I came back to the States, I named my music dubproductions.
I love that. I love it. It's a great fun story, something to always think about your time over in Europe. Yeah. So, hey, why don't you play a little tune for me, and so the audience can hear your talents.
I'll play if you sing.
No, wait a minute. I don't know. I won't know the words.
I'm thinking of what our great artist really.
How Great Thou Art.
Yeah, favorite. But yeah, I just love all kind of just beautiful music, nice hymns, and of course, growing up, my father, he plays a little bit as well.
Yes.
Reverend Campbell. So he showed me my first song on piano.
Okay.
It was
Was it Chopsticks? Everyone knew that one. I played the piano.
yeah,
That was Chopsticks.
yeah. But he showed me When the Saints Go Marching In.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
He showed me that when I was like 8, 9 years old. And that's when I first started playing the keys on it. Prior to that, I always been banging and beating drums and beating my mom and grandma pots and pans until they got me drums.
You know, what I love about your story too is that you actually play music by ear, and I play music by learning the notes and all of that. And that in itself is challenging, but I am always in awe of people who can play music by ear. I don't get it. So what a talent, God-given talent you have.
It is just God-given talent, because you put a hymn book right in front of me, I can't tell you A from B. With sheet music and all that. So the only thing that I could read with music was back in when I was playing trombone, I could read, bass clef.
Right.
But I can't read any treble clef or any musical sheet music. I just be like, what are we singing? Let's go.
That's impressive. And to think that you played by ear and you were with all of these high profile people traveling across the country, performing with them. Do you have any really cool stories to tell from that time, or, that really made an impact on your life?
Yeah, it's a lot. The entire
I'm sure.
experience, yeah, it's a whole lot. Even I was in awe when I was at the Vatican and we were in that arena playing for I don't know how many thousands of people that evening for the midnight mass. And another cool thing in Italy I can remember that I always love to think about is having the experience to eat fried ice cream.
Fried ice cream. I don't think I've ever had that either.
Saw it on the menu at a particular restaurant we all were at after a show. And I said, fried ice cream. And I asked the waitress, I said, you got to bring me some of that. So,
because in the South, we like everything fried, so might as well have some fried ice cream.
It was a ball about this big.
Wow.
And it was fried on the outside with a very good seasoning. And it was ice cream, frozen ice cream in the middle. I don't know how they did that.
Oh, they did that. Well, that's pretty cool. So tell me what you're doing today with your love of music. I mean, you work full time, with the Fatherhood Initiative. So this is a side deal. You do some voiceovers, you're producing some music. Tell me about that.
Well, I've always wanted to have my own recording studio and production, just to really do some things on my own and for other artists as well. So I record for others and, of course, doing radio, commercial, voiceovers, artists that, coming to sing or in all genres of music, whether it's gospel, country, rap, hip hop, R&B, jazz, you name it. I want to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then, I like to do and like incorporate a lot of things musically, even on my job, man to man. So doing a lot of things with the kids and, that have a high interest in music. I like to bring my music and to share with them and do some learning experiences like that. So.
Well, music brings us all together. It's a universal language. And really, no matter what kind of music you like, if you like music, in my opinion, you have somewhat of appreciation for all genres. So, hey, I hear you know a little Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown? Yeah, I know Charlie. I like Charlie.
I like Charlie too. Isn't that what they do on Charlie Brown?
Yeah, you gotta love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I just love our time together. Play another little something and people I'll have the email where they can reach you. And maybe if they want to get your services or learn more about your production company.
Absolutely. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, too.
You are so welcome. And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. As Dion plays us out, until we see you again, we hope you have a great day.